Boom or bust? As the real estate slowdown touches every corner of the country, why are some cities thriving? Do you live in boom town or bust town? The $54 million pants. Is the customer always right?
June 12th, 2007.
Good evening. Tonight we bring you some good news on the housing market, even though there were some grim statistics published earlier today. First, the bad news. A new report shows that last month 176,000 homes entered the foreclosure process, and that's almost double the number from a year ago. And yet, in certain select cities, Charlotte, Houston, Austin and Seattle, to name just a few, the market in real estate couldn't be better. So how have these cities managed to buck the national trend? Here's ABC's Kate Snow with the latest instalment of our series, Realty Check.
The farmer that used to get one call a month about his land is now getting 5 and 6 calls a week.
Charlotte real estate broker and land developer Carl Folkler has watched this southern city change from a place with sleepy country roads to a bustling, sprawling city.
We kind of salivate every time someone comes from New York or New Jersey or Philadelphia. And when they get down here, they're just astonished at how robust our economy is, what they can get for their money.
Lisa Hulls is a new transplant from Minnesota, drawn here by a new job. She, too, says Charlotte is a better bargain.
I had a beautiful home there, but it was 15 years old, and it was significantly more expensive. I had a 4,800 square foot home in Minneapolis, have a almost 6,000 square foot home here.
Could it be the pundits who've been saying all real estate is local are right? Driving with Carl around Charlotte sure looks that way.
So we're 20 miles outside of the city center. 20 years ago, did this even exist?
No, this was all woods.
While most of the nation is experiencing a downturn, home prices in Charlotte are climbing. The median price of a home has gone up nearly 6.5% in the last year. And Carl is profiting handsomely, converting acres and acres of old farmland into new housing developments.
I jokingly said, you know, I've made more farmers millionaires than what's the guy with the balloons and Ed McMahon.
You've done pretty well by this.
I've been at the right place at the right time.
And how well have you done without getting too personal?
Very, very well. Probably $15 to $20 million worth of land a month.
A month?
A month.
And you're getting commission off of all that?
Absolutely.
So how did Charlotte avoid the fate of so many other parts of the country? One theory is while so many other markets were booming and bubbling, Charlotte was making a slow, deliberate climb.
We didn't sizzle like 20–25% like some parts of the country, but we were above the national averages. We were steady 8 to 10% growth, and that's increasing while other parts of the country are definitely struggling.
How would you describe what happened here then over the last, say, 10 years versus what happened in places that we all know like Miami and
banking is so
Las Vegas and all those places that did go woo,
yeah, they had the spike and then the big letdown.
Charlotte is one of a handful of cities experiencing steady and strong growth, bucking the national trend. Others include Portland, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, Seattle, Salt Lake City, Houston, Austin, and Raleigh, North Carolina.
We have over 80,000 folks coming new to Charlotte every year.
80,000 a year, and the city has how many residents overall?
The metropolitan areas, I believe 1.6 million, something like that.
So 80,000
percentage-wise, yes.
That's a huge amount of people for a city this size.
It is huge.
80,000 a year.
We look at Panther Stadium, and it holds 80,000. If you look at that and open the gates and have to find housing for all those folks.
Over there's going to be a mixed-use office building and housing.
Hugh McCall deserves some of the credit. In 1998, his bank, Nations Bank, and Bank America announced a merger. The result, Bank of America, with its headquarters in Charlotte.
There's this farmers market sitting right in the main entrance to the bank. And, you know, I'm sure you're used to that in New York or Boston or somewhere, but to us, you know, it's exciting. We like it. It's life on the street.
Charlotte is now the second most important center for banking in the nation after New York City.
Some of us think we're still just an overgrown country town, but the truth of the matter is we have a vibrant economy and lots of people from everywhere else in the world. And that has really been driven by the banks largely initially, but now has a life of its own.
It's not always banking, but in many of the cities that are still growing, bucking the trend, one particular industry has taken root, creating steady job growth and drawing employees with money to spend on their homes. Real estate analyst and investor Michael Knight expects that will continue.
So who is moving here?
We're the #2 destination for the 25 to 34-year-old demographic age range, which is in the economics world and for business, the most coveted demographic they have.
These are all for sale for about $1 million because they're up here on the road and stuff. And as we get in here, you'll see a lot nicer ones.
Wait, $1 million because they're up here on the main highway?
On the main road.
Those are the cheap houses?
Yes.
And who owns this home? Anybody yet?
Yeah, I just sold it for $3.2 million 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, $3.2 million?
$3.2 million. It's worth every penny of it.
Wow. That's a high ceiling.
This is a beautiful home.
Are those balconies?
They are.
Off
2 bedrooms, children bedrooms.
The children have balconies?
And their own baths and more square footage than you can imagine.
I'm imagining what my children would do on those balconies.
This would be the dining room, and it's all hand faux painted.
Is that gold leaf?
It is.
Real gold leaf?
Yes.
Right.
Everything in here is real. You'll
Everything
see,
in here is real.
Yes. To a huge kitchen, which is going to be the focal point of the home.
Yeah.
As you can see, you come through here, you got a huge eat-in breakfast area. You have a dining room there, family room there.
Great room.
And
we're on water here.
Yeah, there's about a 4.5 acre pond.
Who bought this place?
It was an investor who came in down from up north and bought the home.
Who will flip it and turn around and sell it again?
That is the idea.
This is a $3.2 million house.
Correct.
How much would this house sell for in California?
I would guess upwards north of $5 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, Chicago area.
Again, $5 million or better. If you can find a lot that's 2 acres on a 4.5 acre pond, which it's unheard of in those places.
Miami.
Can't touch it.
That is the other advantage in a place like Charlotte. In part because housing prices here never exploded, the cost of living is much lower than in cities like San Diego or Miami, and you get more house for your money.
This is not a room, this is the shower?
This is a shower, almost a car wash for the body.
What can you get for $1 million in Charlotte, North Carolina?
You can get a beautiful 7,000 to 8,000 square foot home with all the niceties, the granite, the tile, every upgrade you can possibly imagine. You know, you have $1 million houses after $1 million houses, and it's all the new money, a lot of the dinks, which is double income, no children, we call them.
Along with the dual income couples lured by jobs are retirees, baby boomers, many of them from the Northeast with money to pump into the local economy. Some retired to Florida and then changed their minds and moved to Charlotte.
We call them affectionately halfbacks. They had originally
What does that mean, halfback?
They had originally moved to Florida from up north, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and now they moved halfway back home. The Carolinas actually surpassed Florida several years back for the #1 retirement states in the country.
How many developments like this one for retired folks would there be now in Charlotte? I mean, are they going up right and left?
In the local surrounding areas, we can't build them fast enough. A lot of people enjoy the fact they can drive 3 hours and be in the mountains or at the beach. Another thing is the weather here. We have great weather year-round.
And homes are still appreciating in Charlotte at a rate that's about twice the national average.
We've been the beneficiary of just slow and sustained growth. Kind of, if you will, related to kind of like tortoise and hare, and where these other markets are jumping all over the place. Yet we just had, a turbo turtle, just kind of, slowly progressing along, yet yielding positive results.
Perhaps there's a lesson here. Beware of hot markets. Like the story of the tortoise and the hare, slow but steady is the market that really wins the housing race, even if it does mean strip mall after strip mall, gated community after gated community.
Does anybody worry about all this?
I don't think so. We don't. Like I said, when you have that...
Well, you don't, because you're making money.
Yeah, I love it. I'm at the right place, right time. Yeah. That's me.
For Nightline, I'm Kate Snow in Charlotte, North Carolina.